While building up my Imperial army, I found a common problem is that the insignia on AT-AT drivers and ATST drivers, the ones that appear on the helmet and the arms, are often worn away completely. And there's no way of repainting them because they are a definite little sort of insignia logo. So I've worked out a way of recreating them and replacing them with decals, and they look really good. As you can see here, this is a AT-AT driver, and the insignia, the red logo that should be on his helmet on either side there, on this guy it's sort of partially worn away. There's just a tiny amount of it left, and if we look at this guy here, there's actually nothing left on this one, and the left hand side here is faded, so there's just a small orange sort of patch left. And that's a very common way of finding AT-AT drivers. Also, if you look at the ATST commander, he's supposed to have insignia on his shoulders. You can see this guy's got a fairly reasonable one there on his right shoulder, but if I turn him around to his left, that one is completely worn off. So what we need to do is replace those with a new sort of decal or something. In Photoshop, I've managed to sort of recreate the logos for the AT-AT driver and ATST driver, as you can see here. They're actually not quite the Imperial logo. I've done a figure accurate version on the top row here, which is more like a little star, and I've done a movie accurate version, which is the proper Imperial logo in red there. Likewise for the ATST driver, that's the logo on his shoulder is almost the Imperial logo, but not quite, which is the third row, and the fourth row is a black version of the actual Imperial logo. And I bought some clear vinyl sticky backed printer paper from eBay. As you can see, it's quite shiny, and this goes through my normal sort of inkjet printer quite nicely, and I've been able to print high resolution loads and loads of these logos. So now my job is to sort of cut them out and get them onto the figures and see how they look. What we need to do first is actually remove the remnants of the old logo that's on there. This guy, you can see there's just a tiny amount of a logo left, and I found that acetone, which is nail varnish remover. You can pick this up at any sort of drugstore really. Is very good for this. Just a little bit on a cotton bud, and if I just rub on the logo that's there, it will gradually remove, and there you go, it's all gone. It's that easy. The original insignia just seem to be printed on, so acetone dissolves them pretty easily. So let's just do the other side here, and it will come off just as easily. There you go, and that's all gone. So while I'm at it, I'll do this other AT-AT driver. He's already missing the one on the right side there, so I'll just use this cotton bud just to remove the remains of what's left over here. Again, just sort of rub it fairly vigorously on this one, and it's slowly coming off. We'll do the same here for this ATST driver. The logo on this shoulder is pretty much gone already, so I'll just use the acetone just to remove any sort of last remnants. The acetone also helps to clean the area, so when the stickers are put on, it should stick nicely. And the logo here on the other shoulder is fairly worn, so I might as well remove that as well completely, and we'll do both in one go. The next trick is to carefully cut out the logos from the vinyl sticky back sheet here. So I'm going to just use a pair of small scissors on my penknife to carefully cut around those. Not going to leave too much sort of excess plastic around the edge, because obviously you want the logos to be as flush as possible to the figure. So I'll just carefully cut as close as I can here. Now, using a pair of very small tweezers, I'm going to remove the backing. There we go, and now carefully apply that to the head in the right position. And there we go. That's a pretty perfect replacement. It's from a distance, it's almost impossible to tell that that's a sticker rather than a printed on logo. So I'll now add the rest to the other figures I have here, and I'll show you the final results. Right, so here we have a ATSG driver. This guy now has no insignia on his shoulders, and I've already cut out a few of these small insignia here. So just carefully peel off the backing, again using a pair of tweezers as this is very fiddly now. There you go, that's the insignia. Now I use one that I figured that has got all its insignia in place so that I can get this up the right way and place that on his shoulder. Just like that. So if I hold these up to the camera, you can see the guy on the left has got the replacement insignia and the guy on the right has an original insignia. That's a pretty good match. It's slightly shiny obviously because it's a sticker now rather than something printed on, but the results look pretty good. So I'll just go and replace this other guy's shoulder here, and that will be the job done. And there we have it. That's all the insignia is now replaced on these figures here. I'll do a comparison of the AT-AT drivers just so you can see how they look. The guy on the left here is an original one. It's very hard to tell actually. The decals or insignia there are the ones actually printed on the figure originally, and this guy in my right hand is the replacement decals that I've just printed onto some sticky backed vinyl paper and stuck on. The vinyl sticky back stuff I picked up off eBay. I paid £7 for 10 sheets, so it's a fairly expensive stuff, but the fact that it's clear and you can print onto it not using a normal inkjet printer is very good. So really the only sort of hard job for this was actually designing the replacement decals and in Photoshop and printing them out. At some point I'll make these available, or maybe even sell the sheets, because it's I could do with some money for improving this channel, but for the moment it's just a guide on how you can go about replacing worn insignia on figures. Fairly simple and does a good job. So thanks for watching.